Anxiety is not just nerves, and is definitely not harmless. The real problem with anxiety is that it quietly limits your life without you even realizing the full cost of it. It doesn't just show up in big moments. It shows up in small decisions you make every day, especially when it comes to speaking, expressing yourself, or putting yourself forward. Hello, I'm Alexandra Polino, a clinical hypnotherapist. In today's podcast, I want to show you what anxiety is really doing behind the scenes, particularly when it comes to fear of public speaking or being seen, and why this is not just about fear, but about lost potential. And you have likely experienced this more than once. You had something valuable to say, maybe in a meeting, a group setting, or even just a conversation. And instead of speaking up, you held back. You told yourself you would say it later, or that it wasn't the right moment, or that you needed to think about it more. But later came and went, and you still said nothing. This isn't random, this is a pattern. And the real cost of this pattern is not just feeling uncomfortable in the moment. The real cost is that your ideas don't get heard. Your input is overlooked, and over time, people start to underestimate you. Not because you lack intelligence or ability, but because anxiety and fear keeps that part of you hidden. And this is where anxiety and fear becomes a thief. It steals opportunities, recognition, and growth without making a big scene. What most people don't realize is that fear of public speaking is not really about speaking itself. It's about what speaking represents. It's about being seen, being judged, and the possibility of getting something wrong in front of others. And your mind interprets this as a risk, and it reacts accordingly. It tries to protect you by holding you back before you even have a chance to act. If you don't understand this, you might think the solution is just to be more confident or to practice more. But that only addresses the surface. The real issue sits deeper. And that's why for many people, the problem doesn't fully go away. And the reason this pattern continues is because of what happens internally in those moments. And before you speak, there is a reaction in your body and your mind. You might feel tension, overthink what you want to say, or immediately doubt whether it's good enough. In that moment, your mind is trying to avoid discomfort, so it pushes you to stay quiet. Every time you follow that instinct, you reinforce the pattern. You teach your brain that staying small is a safer option. Over time, that becomes automatic. So anxiety becomes stronger, not weaker. This is why simply telling yourself just do it or trying to force confidence rarely works long term. The issue is not your ability to speak. It's the continued response that stops you before you even begin. What actually creates change is not forcing yourself to act, but changing the internal response that drives the hesitation in the first place. When you retrain how your mind reacts to being seen, speaking or expressing yourself, the experience changes. You no longer feel the same level of resistance. Your thoughts become clearer, and taking action becomes more natural. This is where real confidence comes from, not pushing yourself through fear, but from removing the pattern that creates it. And this is exactly the work I focus on in my hypnotherapy program, Overcoming the Fear of Public Speaking. The goal is not just to help you manage fear and anxiety, but to change the underlying response so that you are no longer held back in moments that matter by your anxiety and your fear. So, if you recognize yourself in this, understand that the issue is not the lack of confidence or skill. The issue is a pattern that has been repeated enough times to feel automatic. And once that pattern changes, your behavior follows naturally. And when you start speaking up more, expressing yourself more, and showing up differently, a new question naturally comes up. What else have you been holding back in your life that is ready to change? If anxiety and your fear is stopping you from speaking up, being seen, or putting yourself forward, then this is exactly what needs to change. My hypnotherapy program is designed to help you break that pattern at the root so you can speak with clarity, feel in control, and stop holding yourself back in the moments that matter. If you're ready to overcome anxiety and fear around speaking and finally feel comfortable expressing yourself, take a look at my hypnotherapy program, Overcoming the Fear of Public Speaking. To go deeper, book a free hypnotherapy consultation with me at thefearlessninja.com to know how hypnotherapy can help you overcome fear and anxiety around public speaking so you can feel more in control, speak with clarity, and stop holding yourself back in meetings. And please like and share this post with someone who might need to listen to this message. Thank you for listening.